Alright, like I said, I'm going to do a preview for the South Carolina game, and we will do that. Georgia and South Carolina. Georgia is coming off a loss to Tennessee, as you probably know. And South Carolina is having an amazing basketball season in men's basketball. That's hard to hear. That's really odd to hear. You never really thought you heard that. South Carolina's schedule looks like this. They opened up the season November 26th against SC Upstate. They won. They beat Virginia Tech, VMI, DePaul, Grand Canyon, Notre Dame, Gardner-Webb, Clemson, East Carolina, Winthrop, Elon, Florida A&M, Mississippi State. They suffered their first loss of the year against Alabama Tuesday. So South Carolina, really solid team, man. I mean, I like what South Carolina is doing up there. I think South Carolina really used to might not be a respectable basketball program, but Lamont Paris has those dudes. They are playing great basketball, and it's really odd because Georgia struggles with South Carolina so much in basketball. So for South Carolina, Georgia won the game at Athens last year, and South Carolina would then win it in Columbia on the very last night of the year. Georgia trails the series, believe it or not, 57-63. Georgia is 33-22 at home. They are 16-39 away. This game will be at Colonial Life Arena, so at South Carolina. The first ever matchup between the teams, Georgia won 34-27. That doesn't look like a football school. No. Georgia's last 10 matchups from 2019 to 2000 to now, 1-9. So, if you recall, Georgia's last win versus South Carolina was at Columbia was 2015-16. Other than that, it's been a loss. We finally did break away and got a win last year in Stegman. Thank God. But the point still remains. You're still struggling versus South Carolina. I mean, I hate to be that guy, but that's the case. This is a series. And I'm hearing, I know a few people, I'm hearing that this series might not even be played next year in basketball with Oklahoma and Texas joining the conference. You really never know what Georgia's schedule is going to look like. But as far as I think and I believe, that game yesterday against Tennessee, this won't be yesterday, this will be Tuesday, but it's going to be recorded yesterday. That game really hurt. Really hurt. So Georgia's going to have to find a way to overcome that, I guess. And, that means beating South Carolina, that's the case. So, South Carolina, really great team, man. Like I just said, I like what Lamont Paris out there is building. I can't give you keys from other teams, but I can give you keys for Georgia. Number one for Georgia, they got to shoot the ball like they did against Tennessee. And I don't mean layups, I mean three-pointers. Georgia was unconscious from deep. If Georgia keeps playing like they played from deep against South Carolina, they probably can win that game. Secondly, we have to do better hitting layups. Georgia missed around 19 or 20 layups yesterday. If Georgia just gets at least 3 of them, they win the game. So you don't want to miss layups. As embarrassing that sounds, you do not want to miss layups. You have to make and hit your layups. That is common basketball knowledge. You have to hit layups. And number 3, the size advantage is no longer there. Tennessee had an incredible size advantage. I'm sure South Carolina has someone like Big Russ, but we need Russ to dominate the paint again. Like I said, 1 point in the game against Tennessee. I know Big Russ could do it. I've been very proud of the way he has played the last 2 or 3 games. So we need Russ to continue to dominate the paint for Georgia because the games is won outside the paint. It'd be nice to see Big Russ take up and pull a three-pointer and hit it. But outside of that, I mean, you got to win inside the paint, and Georgia has to do that. So that's really it. Georgia versus South Carolina. This is recorded Saturday. Sunday, but they will play Tuesday. So hopefully Georgia could look, man. I mean, I'm being honest. I still feel horrible about this Tennessee game. So let's get that out of our system. It'll probably take another day to get over, and then after that, it's on to South Carolina Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Coverage for the Georgia Radio Network starts at 8:35. Scott Howard, Chuck Dowdle, Adam Gillespie, and Luke Nancardi will be on the radio. You can listen on 750 AM WSB, 95.5 WSBB. Do not get those confused. They are the same station. WRFC 960 The Ref, and of course locally for me 92.1 WPEH. So if you're looking online, you can always go to Sirius XM to listen to the Georgia basketball game. I do not know the channel name. You go to GeorgiaDawgs.com and listen to it there, or you can just go on to listen to it on a real radio. So Georgia and South Carolina, hopefully Georgia wins. Hopefully we get that loss out of our system. And yeah, that's really it. So let's go Hoop Dogs. Let's beat South Carolina.